Christopher Steele was, at the time, he was beginning to uncover what he describes as this effort by Vladimir Putin personally to sort of steer the election away from Hillary Clinton. He was, at that time, in the employ of a Washington consulting firm that was working for Democratic supporters of Hillary Clinton. So it was the supporters hire this firm, Fusion GPS. They, in turn, hire Steele. Just as that contract is starting to wrap up, as expected in October as Election Day looms, the FBI discusses with Steele, and this is what our story reports, hiring him, contracting with him in effect, to provide continued work in this area. And so one of the concerns, and we expect that it will come out because it's an obvious one, how is it that the FBI was hiring for assistance someone who was at the time in the employ, at least indirectly, of Democratic Party or democratically inclined groups?
What we're reporting is that as the election approached and that payment was due to dry up, the FBI made this agreement that they would pay him so that he would continue his work. The former Mi6 agent Christopher Steele grew increasingly frustrated with the FBI. He felt as though they were not taking the information he had uncovered seriously enough, and there were a series of things that occurred that made him feel that way, such that the relationship became strained. And so they had not sort of continued the relationship, and they did not ultimately pay him, and then everything blew up when it became public in January. Steele went into hiding, the president was attacking him, and so at that point the relationship ended entirely.
And one of the things that we are unable to say at this point is that the dossier is corroborated or uncorroborated. We've been told by intelligence sources that some parts of it, bits of it, have been corroborated. And as I mentioned a moment ago, the long arc of the sort of the charge, the complaint, the drama that was first suggested in June has in fact been verified by U.S. intelligence agencies.
But I would say that the two core claims of the dossier that I think are most important to American voters, which are explained with some level of specificity and detail in these reports, are the claim that, one, that the Russians have compromising material on Donald Trump, and two, that there was essentially collusion between associates of Donald Trump and the Russians over the hacking. That it's not just that the Russians hacked, it's not just that they did it to help Donald Trump, but that there were actually people around Trump who were in contact with them about it. And those two allegations, which are the most salacious, most explosive, as of this moment, remain unverified.